Okay, I got it. We should be audible now. So here we go. Welcome everybody to the Gangstagrass Show on another Friday night. Coming to you live to hang out and talk with Gangstagrass with some big news coming up. And we are here with Danjo, Wrench, our son, Pharaoh, Dolio, and Sleeves, the one and only. Oh, yeah. Uh, I'd like to thank Rusty in the Twitch. Rusty stopped eating cucumbers and onions, and listening to the Reds, so he could tune into our stream. Big props for that. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get my cholesterol right and stuff. Like I'm not. This is it's messing with me, dog. It's messing with me, and and a cat like Biz that was just so very good at what he did,
Yeah,
so amazing at what he did, and then had the nerve to be one of the greatest party DJs ever. Like
and that is the truth.
if you ever went to a party that Biz was spinning, forget it. Left the joint drenched. He killed it on the
Yeah,
wheels, man.
you'd be
Absolutely,
sore the whole next day too. It
absolutely
was,
fantastic. One of the best of all time.
Yeah.
And what I mean, it would be wrong if I didn't raise a glass to the dearly departed, God rest the dead, Bismarcky, an all-time great and funny dude, man. I got a chance to chill with him once in Penn State. He's a really nice guy. Um and I'm just gonna bump nobody beats the biz all day tomorrow, and and
Yeah.
something for the radio. That was my joint. That was my biz joint. That a lot of cats was like, "This is something for the radio." Was my joint, man. I'm a Spring Again was hot. Although Spring Again, I think that was that one of the ones that they couldn't play
that
anymore.
yeah, that's the one they had when they re-released the album. They had to snatch it off because they didn't get
Yeah,
it cleared.
yeah, man. Yeah, he
What's
put
it?
a he put an album out called All Samples Clear because he put the one he put out before had it ain't clear nothing on that record, man.
Yeah,
Nothing. They was like, whatever, bro, put it out. Who cares?
That's
the
They were like,
cats used
nope.
to go. They used to go like they would just go commando.
Yeah,
They'd
yeah. They was
be
just
like,
like, whatever.
"They get me, they get me."
I was
Yeah,
wondering how that worked out. Like, do you just like not care? Like,
I
Nah, nah, nah.
guess.
Early days.
Yeah,
Well, the thing is that yeah, it
yeah,
was like because sampling was not really a thing yet.
yeah. It really wasn't. Cats were.
I mean, they had only been looping for like 30 years with
Yeah,
rudimentary
exactly.
equipment. I think it was Les Paul that started looping.
yeah,
But
yeah. He
it was
had like multi-tracking,
Multi-tracking, he started
yeah,
looping.
sound on
I'll be
sound
right back.
recording. I mean, yeah, like also like invented the Les Paul electric guitar. No big deal. Whatever.
Ain't clear
Yeah,
He
man.
also
nothing
invented
on
the
that
log.
record, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
started with the log.
Also,
Yep. It
he
rolls
was also
downstairs
one
alone
hell
or
of
in
a voice.
pairs.
Right. Wait, I
Oh,
mean, I guess technically he invented the electric guitar.
yeah.
Yeah, Dan said that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you
No
said the
big.
Les Paul electric guitar.
Yeah. Well, but electric guitar. Yeah. I mean, he was one of the early innovators.
I think he
Um.
had,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Prayers to his family. You know, but he was in a lot of pain. He was suffering. His health was really deteriorating. Um, he's allowed to rest now, but he left us with a lot of great art. But definitely, there's a biz-shaped hole in the world right now. There's not you will never find another Biz Marquee.
Yeah.
In the name of good health and folks taking care of themselves, shout out to Graziano Fabiano over on Facebook, who just got their second vaccine shot. So good looking out on that, and we hope everybody out there is doing well out there tonight. Wrench, apparently, I don't know if you've had this issue before. They can hear us, but they cannot hear you.
That's interesting.
That is weird.
Separate input thing. If you're
We
just
hear
getting
you.
the Zoom audio, the Zoom audio won't have your audio.
That
To
might be
make
it.
sure to route yourself too. But
I gotta go ahead and put a quick shout out. I had a really good friend of mine pass recently. Maceo Parker was a really great pianist around the DMV area, and I played with him on a couple of really great jazz gigs, and played with him in the church, and a lot with the Poor People's Campaign. He was always just a friendly guy, real just soulful piano player, and just knew how to play behind anybody. You could come up and sing any old thing, and he was going to have an ear for it. And he just was a breath of life to singers. He really could make a bandstand come alive. So just shout out to Maceo Parker too.
yeah, I think I know that name, man. TC area guy, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Apologies, folks. My son is sick, and I just ordered some groceries.
Do your thing. Do your thing. And
Yeah.
I'm checking in 1, 2. Rusty, you can let me know if you're hearing me.
Oh,
Coming in
and your
now.
name's backwards.
Haha.
And you smell. Sorry, I was just like dumping on you here.
Is my name backwards?
I'm assuming everybody else is good. People are.
Oh my God, yeah, he is. His
people are
name is
singling
backwards.
out-
I don't know
people
how
are
that.
singling out Wrench here. They're really just.
Boom.
Okay, they
don't
can hear
like
you
it.
now.
Okay.
But your
I
name
think
is still
I think I've got
backwards.
everything set up. This was kind of a quick setup here.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Because I'm running this stream all of a sudden, but there's a lot of settings to adjust here. But I think we got us all here. There is a question
Good.
in the Twitch from Rusty and Poet of Cornwall asking about the UK tour, which we have just announced is postponing, but pretty much all the dates we've gotten new dates booked for those. So you can check out the dates on the events page on our website. But we're doing all of the UK dates now in June of next
Yes,
year
indeed.
to just to play it safe there and make sure everything is going to go off well and we can come and have a really good time. Obviously, we don't want to wait, but sometimes that's the prudent thing, and we know when we come next year, it's going to be a blast. So
Yeah,
June
yeah.
2022 UK tour is being moved there.
And yeah, summer there is pretty decent too.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not it's not an oppressive type of heat. It's a nice. It's more like spring here.
Mhm.
You know.
Temperate climate. I never knew what that meant before because I was living on the East Coast and I'm like living in DC, living up north of New York, and like everywhere you go, it's like it's really hot in the summer and it's really cold in the winter and it's terrible. And then you go over to the UK and it's like just mild always.
Wet.
Hey, it was nice though.
No, it
Nice.
could be that way. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it's nice.
We
Yeah,
got
well,
Noli
you know.
dropping in now and dropping some cheers on us in the Twitch. That's what that little sound was.
Hey.
And so
Hi,
nice
Noli.
to see all of these awesome people joining us for our live streams to let you
I
know
tell
what's
you what,
going on.
I think we should let them know the reason why we had to cancel the September tour is
Because
I'm actually a starting pitcher for the Phillies, and so they're gonna need me in September.
We
Yeah.
just found that
for
out.
the
too.
playoffs, yeah, for the
Yeah.
playoffs.
We had
Yeah.
to postpone it just
Playoffs?
now because it was kind of a spontaneous thing that our son was like, "Guess what I'm going to do now?"
We were actually just talking about the Eagles and I got confused because I thought they were talking about the band, the Eagles. Like
Yeah.
Meek Mill was collaborating with the Eagles, which I would love to hear. I would love to hear Meek Mill on an Eagles track, but no, they were talking about the Philadelphia Eagles.
I would like for
Yeah.
us to stage an NFL game where the players are actually the thing that the name refers to instead of the football team. So it could be like the band, the Eagles, versus.
Versus the Buccaneers with a bunch of pirates.
You might have to cross over into basketball as well because I really want to see somebody play the Warriors from the movie The Warriors.
Nice.
All right,
Oh,
I'm
snap.
totally okay with that.
So what if the Eagles played like the Utah Jazz and it was like a jazz band?
Yeah,
But it was
that's
a
what I'm
jazz
talking
band
about.
from
Yo,
Utah.
I don't care. I don't want to be playing against the Hornets.
Yeah, no, I'm skipping that. I'm skipping that.
You lose, you forfeit, go home.
I got a question. Did anybody see? And I hope I didn't miss this. Did anybody see T-Pain's rant?
Yes, I'm the one. I'm the one that shared it.
So did you see like the whole 10-minute John?
Yo,
No.
I shared it because I watched the whole thing. I watched the whole thing, and that's why I was like, T-Pain is a national treasure. That's why I was like, T-Pain is a national treasure because he said it, he meant
He
it.
went so ham.
I know.
Oh, so good.
But all of his gospel though, every word of it.
You can summarize without giving too much of it away because I do want to watch this.
Yeah.
If you check out our socials, you can see that we've linked to our big announcement, which is T-Pain just yelling a lot about some stuff. So
Yeah,
a
yeah,
big announcement.
yeah. He's got
What's the,
his
what's
Twitch
the,
channel
what's the
too.
basics?
Essentially, he was like,
Basically, but
he was talking about how people keep sending him music, and it's the same music that like
everybody else is
everybody
doing.
else is doing right now. He was like, right now we got Lil Baby, Da Baby,
And Dog Baby.
Lil so and so, Lil like, stop sending me the same fucking music. Yo, he went nuts, bro.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was
Yeah, I mean, because he was like,
beautiful.
he's like, look, just be original, be you. He's like, we already got that. You
That
know,
gives me an
it-
idea. Hey guys, I just had an idea.
We
What if
should
we
send
did
the track.
something
That
like
was the idea,
different
right?
from what other people are doing, and made
Hey,
music that
that-
wasn't like that?
yeah, I
Send
think we should
T-Pain
do
a
that.
track.
Let's try to do
And
something
he
original.
would,
What do you say?
He would have a whole 10-minute rant. I'm like, keep getting people sending me these goddamn bluegrass hip hop tracks, man. Just cut it out
Yo,
already.
yeah, I mean, I could totally feel how he thinks because basically he came out with an original sound and then everybody copied his ass, and and I would, it's wild. But and then the thing is that because they didn't have everything invested behind it that he did, all it was like the knockoff version of T-Pain because they couldn't freak it the way he did because they don't know what he was doing.
It was beautiful. It made me
Right.
very happy.
Speaking of
Yeah,
us
I
doing
was
something
so-
original,
We did do something original.
we want to let
Yeah.
everybody know that we have a new song out today that's an original Gangstagrass song coming
Dude.
out today called Please Don't Take My Home From Me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's got us doing some harmony singing. It's got some raps on it. It's got some very cool messages about struggles people are going through. So it's kind of the whole package out there. And, so if you haven't yet, go check out the new track. Please Don't Take My Home From Me. D'Angelo, why don't you tell us a little bit about how this kind of kicked off? Because you brought this idea
Oh.
to the group.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's kind of one of those things that's maybe kind of similar to You Can Never Go Home Again, where if I really try to think back to whatever it was I was thinking when I first started putting the thing together, I like to work with like really simple, broad concept phrases that could easily be taken and interpreted in any number of ways. And I feel like that's the sort of thing that I really especially love with this band because there's like so many more ways if you're trying to do like a bluegrass version of something, and there's also going to be this whole other hip hop element that like I don't want to say it's lazy. Part of the beauty of it as a songwriter is like I don't even have to think out like, yeah, and I bet then they're going to say this and they're going to say that, and like Dolly's going to say something like this, and our son's going to say some other thing. I don't have to think about any of that, and it wouldn't be right for me to. But it's good enough for me to just sort of bring it in and be like what was I even thinking about? I think probably in my own life I was really just thinking about touring a lot, because I think I started working on this like before 2020. I'm pretty sure I had the idea of it back like 2019 maybe, and I was touring a lot, and I was really, I was away from home a lot, and I was having a. We love what we do. We all love it, but this is news to you all. Sometimes it can be hard to be away from home all the time. And I think that's the place I was really coming from initially with it. But then obviously you sit with it, and we've through our immediate personal familial connections, we already are very aware of the struggles that a lot of people face, immigrating into this country, within the country, and I realize like it's just it's a broad feeling that so many people share in different ways, and so then I ended up writing the more specific verse that's more kind of focused on like what somebody might go through, having to cross a border, whether they're a refugee or they're an immigrant or emigrant, or and I tried to keep it vague and broad enough to where you might be able to like read yourself into that and identify with the people that are going through these just basic human struggles, because that's actually another conversation that we had recently, but I think it was something, Wrench, you had talked to me about a while ago, is this idea that these folks at what was the organization, the folks we were talking to that were doing the research on
the Center on Belonging and Inclusion.
The Center on Belonging and Inclusion, and these folks are working specifically with they're working with like target focus groups on the issue of immigration and immigrants in this country, and sort of accepting and belonging and inclusion of those people, because there's a lot of folks out there that have different ideas about immigrants, and there's a lot of really terrible, divisive, hateful rhetoric about immigrants in our politics and in our media. And that can be a real problem, because then you might feel like, well, I don't know how I feel about immigrants because I haven't met any, but I feel bad about them, like they're probably bad, right? You're just conditioned in that direction, right. Like where'd that even come from? And we know where it came from, but that's beside the point. Right. So they're trying
but then if they put themselves in maybe the shoes of their grandfathers or great grandfathers.
Yeah. Hey, my dad still loves my dad still loves that Stephen Colbert line from his congressional hearing, where he said, "My grandfather didn't come to this country to see it overrun by immigrants."
Right.
Which is great, but it's a great point. But they also were thinking about like sometimes put yourself in somebody's shoes. Sometimes that doesn't necessarily work as well as we would want it to, and so then they're just like, well, they've been really, these are folks that are working on like how do we bridge that misunderstanding gap and think about people in a way where you really are more inclined to work with them than to just demonize them and other them and reject them, because that's, broadly speaking, I feel like that's what we're all about here, whether it's immigrants or fellow citizens or ex-felons or incarcerated people or poor people, people different class, homeless people, whatever it is, we should all be working towards more acceptance. I think that's pretty central to what we do in this band. I'm sorry, what was the question?
But for like a lot of it plays into why we tell the stories. Why so many of our songs are stories or narratives from the perspective of somebody going through certain things and struggles.
Exactly.
Either those are things that a lot of these are things that we've either gone through or people close to us have gone through. So we put those stories out there because people identify with them. It's sort of like when studies have shown that people who read more books, read more stories, in books tend to be more empathetic because they've been able to put themselves in the mind of another person more often. So if I figure by writing stories, you contribute to that empathy.
Sounds dangerous and subversive.
It is.
I mean, you gotta remember, like, why would people ban books unless they have some power, right?
Right.
Yeah. But so
Yeah, they also ban records. They also burn records and ban records.
Yeah.
Because music resonates with people's heartstrings,
Yeah. So I was really happy to get verses from both of you MCs on this track. Either you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta let our son speak on his. I don't like hogging the mic here.
For me, it was the thing that sort of stood out the most, like the idea of like losing your home. Like, what would cause that, and what's the kind of thing that at the moment a lot of people are dealing with? Like, all right, well, hell, we got a friend going through some stuff like that where it was like, well, you're gonna get a break. Psych, give me that money, right? And it's like, you know what I mean? And so people are losing their houses and having to, close down their businesses and all kinds of stuff like that. And it's like, yo, like, what are you even thinking right now? Like, if nobody's out here making money, how you expect me to pay you some money?
Well,
like, it doesn't make any sense.
It's not nobody.
Well, yeah, you're right.
It's the people taking homes that's making the money.
You're right. And three balls trying to get into space ahead of each other.
Right.
Like, and so for me, that was the thing that really just kind of popped out. So the verse was like, all right, as somebody would having to be having that conversation with, the manager of the bank, like, look, I get it, you need your money, but I can't get you your money if I don't have this land. We supposed to be working here together, right? And, you sort of have to wonder at what point when does the middleman, at what point does the middleman be like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. Because the dude that's locking up the bank at night, he doesn't own the bank.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But he's got his orders or whatever. And it's like, at some point, a couple of these cats, a couple of these middle management types in all sectors need to be like, wait, hold on. This doesn't work. Like, I mean, I get it. You need your third helicopter, sure. But right now, if we trying to make sure that everybody is doing their thing, why would we take this person's land? Why would we take their home? Why would we do any of these stuff? It seems petty on a lot of levels, because Wells Fargo's not going to go out of business because because the Jenkins family is a little bit behind this harvest, because wasn't nobody buying nothing. You know what I mean? So at some point, and a lot of this stuff, and I'll say this and I'll shut up. A lot of the times when I'm writing, it's the idea of, I'm never gonna get to the top guy, right? Jeff Bezos doesn't want to hear what I got to say, but the cats that are running those, a lot of those Amazon plants, they're not seeing none of that money. They're not seeing none of that. Like, most of those cats could be like, you know what? Maybe you guys do need a break today. Maybe a couple of y'all could get a break. That'd be cool.
Right. Maybe a couple of y'all could actually get a chance to use the bathroom.
Yeah, that'd be all right. That'd be all right.
Well, that's going too far.
Maybe you don't need that package that quickly. Like, maybe you can wait and run down to the store. Now the stuff's open. You throw your little mask on and run around the corner and see if the boy over there got it, because he's trying to get his hustle back on too, right? So maybe, just maybe, if you get to a lot of those middleman type of cats, maybe those dudes will be like, yeah, you know what, Mr. Walton, Mr. Bezos, maybe we can kind of dial it back a little bit. That boat you got over there, you already got that. You're good, bro.
That
You got
yacht.
yellow,
Yeah.
You're
orange,
yacht.
fuchsia. Did you need pink and fuchsia? No.
Yo,
Yeah.
have you seen his boat,
Who? Bezos? Yeah, it's ridiculous.
bro?
It's not really a boat. It's more like a floating city.
That thing wouldn't fit on my whole block, cuz. It's ridiculous. Like, why do you need all that? Unless that thing transforms and you can traverse the ocean floor with it, maybe. Otherwise, you wildin', cuz. And
Well, he can escape and declare the country somewhere.
I'm telling you, that dude
Probably,
likes
but-
to go.
You know, going back to the middleman though, because I feel like the bank manager person, like, you know, shout out to anybody working at a bank out there. You know, do your grind and get your paper. But I feel like that's one of those things that could come back to question of systemic issues where,
Yeah.
you know, the bank manager could be in a position to really see like, oh, this person is, I'm evicting this person. Like, I'm signing the paper and like, oh, I have played a part in that. But
Yeah.
also, like, if you don't do it, unfortunately, like,
He'll find himself in that same situation.
You're in the situation. Yeah, you're in the system. You're part of the system, and you know, I think then the question could be like, do you work to kind of ameliorate or subvert the system from within it, or do you just say like, no, I got to quit this job and I got to become, you know, I got to go to law school and I got to become, you know, like an activist lawyer. I got to represent people. I got to, or some other way, to really.
I mean, you could do.
understand. Yeah.
I mean, you can do like our homie Randall White,
Yeah,
you know, who's
exactly.
helping people stay in their homes because
Yeah.
a lot of folks are getting losing their homes because of fees that they get that they incur because they can't afford to keep up with the maintenance or upkeep.
Such a relatively simple and I mean, it's great what they do, and it's real
yeah.
work,
I mean,
and it costs
right.
money, but I mean, compared to like a
Right.
little fix here, a little broken window, and you don't lose your home, like that just
Right.
seems like such an obvious thing.
Yeah, and a lot of it, I mean, kind of like what I was writing about in my verse really was because, you know, you guys heard the original longer one, and I had to cut it back so it, you know, would fit our format for the song. But I was thinking more about the elders in the community who end up getting kicked out of their homes because, you know, the new wave now is to basically take, you know, areas that where, you know, families had lived or long established neighborhoods where people have been there for a long time and basically develop over them. Basically by bulldozing through communities. And a lot of ways there's a lot of those things they use is to get people to incur the fees. So now they got to pay they have fees because they can't afford the upkeep, and especially when you're dealing with elders, they don't even have the ability to do this stuff.
Yeah.
Nor do they have the means, nor do they have the ability to like go out and get a job because they've already lived their lives, they've already worked their whole lives to have the thing that they're living in now. And then because so-and-so development company out of Manhattan or whatever wants to build condos, you know, in this neighborhood, they say, okay, you got to go. And here's like, you know, a few pennies.
Yeah, they say private industry is like the thing that leads us out of I don't know, whatever they're trying to lead us out of. But you know, I see the same effect of private industry in DC. And just to give it another policy point, there's this issue with DC Water. They handed it over from it being a public utility to it being privately owned. So the company.
Who voted for that?
Probably Mendelsohn.
Congress, maybe.
Anyway,
Like the citizens in DC didn't have a say in that?
go ahead, Farrell. Make the point you were trying to make.
No, go ahead, because it's tragic.
So the water utility got passed to a private company, and they were charged with cleaning up the river, and they said they'd do it. But what that meant is that they were going to charge residents more, and it's actually a victimable offense to not like pay your water utility on time. So you have your water utility going up, and if you don't pay it, it's not just like your other bills. You don't like just not have it. You get kicked out of your home. So you've got all these bills rising on old folks, and they can't pay it because they've only got a fixed income. So you see a lot of people moving out because of that. It's part of the reason why DC is the way it is now.
Hmm. So I listened to the song again because it came out today, and it just struck me again how, in a way, I'm really proud of the song, the way that each of those verses sort of takes a different side of the same idea of losing your home and ties it together, where you might hear the first verse and be like, oh, I know what this song is about, losing your home like that. And then the second verse is like, oh, or maybe like that too. And then the third verse, you might feel like it's taking a sharp turn, but then you got to think, but wait, maybe this is, all connected. And I love that about the song.
And what I was trying to do with the chorus, I was trying to really, get the chorus like, I like the approach of having, verses be like multiple meanings of things, and then the chorus be kind of the simple unifying thought. And I just felt like, people have homes and lose their homes, leave their homes through all kinds of different situations, like the ones that we're talking about, and more. Like there's a lot of stuff we didn't talk about, but I just tried to keep it down to, home, especially because it's not necessarily the place that you leave. Sometimes you're immigrating to a place, and you want that to be your home. And maybe home is as simple as the place where you want to be, whether it's the place you already are or it's the place that you're going to. It's I think it's a mistake. And I was thinking about it, I was like, I don't want to try to define what home is to anybody, because I don't know. I have a hard enough time to figure out where my home is, and because I travel so much, and kind of the great problem to have there is I get to see so many places and have made so many different places. We have many homes, and we have many friends and even family members now, found family, that we do through this touring thing. So I would never want to tell somebody else what home means to them, because it means whatever it means. And it's enough to say that it is a place where you want to be. Now, it doesn't touch on like, what if home is a place you don't want to be? That's a different song. That's please
right.
Don't make me go back home. Which I should probably write that.
Yeah, is it like? I guess that's a lot part of your earlier definition of like being a place where you want to be. I guess that plays on why people have been singing for so many, I don't know, centuries or decades, or I don't know how long the phrase has been around. At home is where the heart is.
Yeah. 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 Where your home is, who your family is, I think is a great question, and people redefine that all the time, and it absolutely does not have to be blood or somebody that you're raised with or whatever, and I just tried to keep that vague and broad and easily relatable.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I must say that I do enjoy our little Gangstagrass family.
Indeed.
And especially when we, everywhere we go, when we're all together, no matter where we are, is our home away from home.
Indeed. A lot of great Gangstagrass family out there in the Church of Gangstagrass, and some family out there that's really supporting us, including the Barnstormers, who are members of our super awesome club. You can join at gangstagrass.com/barnstormers. I happen to currently be in a
That,
sort of...
ladies and gentlemen, is a segue.
Speaking of segues, I happen to be in a sort of ancestral homeland right now. I'm visiting my dad in Oklahoma, and I'm in the garage right now seeing some of his projects, so I wanted to share that with folks a little bit too.
Yeah, well, his pops is awesome with these antiques, and I'm like a super duper like antique fan as far as cars are concerned, but like his craftsmanship is impeccable.
All right, so let me take off this background so you can see here in the garage.
Look at this stuff. Look at that.
Oh,
Wrench, you said you were going to take your virtual background off, but I still see a dope virtual background. Oh, wait. No,
That is-
that's real.
That is.
Oh my
So that's
God.
that's the
That-
53 Chevy that he's had
Yeah.
basically since then, and got the
Yeah.
interior all
Oh,
hooked
Wait.
up.
I see a for sale sign in there.
Yes,
what-
actually, he is gonna part with this 53 Chevy.
Yeah, why
Auto
haven't you
store.
done YouTube videos in these cars yet?
Yeah,
Right.
I got to get you guys out to Oklahoma to do these videos.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I hope
How
you didn't buy a-
much?
Yeah,
How
I hope
much
you
is
didn't
he
buy a-
asking?
I hope you didn't buy
Yeah,
a plane
I-
ticket home.
We'll
because
talk
you're
about that
driving
after the
home.
call. We're gonna talk about that car after the call for
You're
real.
definitely
Yep.
driving home.
Is he still in the pickup?
But that truck.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is the Chevy truck here.
Oh.
Just hang out in here for a little bit.
Oh my goodness!
Yo, that thing is sexy, bro.
Look at that! Look at that grill! Wow.
Nobody tell my wife I'm looking at this.
Yes. But I guess maybe we'll take. You can get in touch with Gangstagrass if you want to bid on a 53 Chevy, and I'll put you.
Yeah.
You have to outbid us first.
Yes, you're gonna have to
Don't do it.
outbid us.
Don't do it, man. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Show him another
And,
car. Show him something else.
Gorgeous.
There'll be
Back
three
here
of
we
us
got,
fighting over that car.
We got some Oklahoma for you.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Oklahoma.
And that's the barn back there.
Oh, you know, it's so
Don't
funny. It's so
burn.
dark.
Now, did you spend some time growing up here?
This was a place that I come and visit my grandparents in the summers. So not a huge amount of time, but definitely have a lot of memories of coming out here and riding horses and whatnot.
Yo, that one picture with you when you were a kid in front of the car, was that there?
That was in New Mexico, where I also
okay, all right.
because that's the stretch Chevy that my dad's friend had out in New Mexico. That was pretty sweet.
You know, I really think before that car goes, it should be in the Avenue Boy music video.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh man. If only I could bring you out to my neighborhood, the avenues back home, but that would mean moving that from Oklahoma to Florida.
That's all we have to do.
Florida,
It has to get from Oklahoma to Florida, so it'll take the southern. That's not that far. It's probably closer than bringing it all the way up here.
True.
You know I'm right. That's
Road
wait,
trip,
that's not even that far at all. Oklahoma to coastal.
It looks like a green screen. It looks like a
Yeah, make sure to capture that shot so that you can use it as a green screen at home.
Yes, indeed.
Damn, look at the grill on that truck.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
gorgeous, man. Yeah, both of them.
Pretty sweet. So that's the handiwork of my pops, Larry Owens, and we're hanging out with him here in Oklahoma. And so I'm here back in one of the homes, and chilling.
Oh my goodness, you having a good time, aren't you? Look at that
Mhm.
smile on your face.
Right?
Pretty cool.
That's what I like to see.
I'm always happy, the on bracketing but several points in the last tour where we assembled and flew out of the DC area and back into the DC area and ended up quarantining in the DC area after going out to our Wisconsin show. At multiple points through the year, we were taking advantage of the hospitality of my parents, and I'm always grateful when I get to go there. And it's been a really special, combining. I mean, you talk about Gangstagrass as a family, but y'all are living in my house,
Right.
in my parents' house, and it's just it's a wonderful found thing that I get from that. It's kind of indescribable, and it's not something. I think it's not something you can guarantee or expect. Like you're not necessarily going to join a band and be like, cool, you should stay with my parents. Like,
Yeah,
all
no
know,
doubt, no doubt,
you've been
no
in
doubt.
some bands.
That's not a thing.
And you don't necessarily get to stay with my parents. You don't necessarily get to meet my parents. Like, I don't necessarily want them knowing, like, all the different people that I roll with. But you all, this group is a very special thing, and I think it just says a lot about you, who you are, and what we do together.
Yeah, we kind of got this. We've kind of got this thing now where it's like all of our families are kind of like that with us. I remember we all stayed at Rich's Pop's crib.
Yo,
And
that
then,
was lovely, bro. That was the greatest.
you know,
That was so dope.
we did have all the Gangstagrass chilling out, you know, in my on my street, you know, just kind of
Yep.
You know,
camping out.
y'all haven't been to my mom's place.
We haven't been there yet.
Someday,
Yeah.
I'm really
before long.
Girl,
And-
I'm looking forward to that so much. Your mom is wild. I've never met her. Wait, we did in.
We did
Davenport.
meet her.
Yeah, we met her
right?
at
We did meet. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
it's gonna. I'm not even gonna say anything about it. I just.
Nope,
I,
just got to do it.
Yeah. Wait till I get y'all down to Pensacola.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah.
on that note, we should let Grant enjoy his family time and that daylight
Yes.
he's out there.
For sure.
Yep.
Remind folks that that we've got a new track out. Please don't take my home away. Please listen to it. It's a really great track.
Yeah.
And if you love the track and you're not already, hop on and be a barnstormer so we can get this stuff to you early. And please, whenever you do get a chance, give us some love on social media platforms. Just like, share videos with us.
Spread
We
the
love
word.
y'all. Great.
Spread
So
the
like,
love.
yeah.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
all right, we got
Rusty-
some
Rusty
people
reminds
following
us.
us on Twitch, and yeah, we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. But thoughts going out to Mama Sleeves, and
Yeah.
hoping everything is good, and and once again, rest in peace to Biz Markie.
Now I was going to put one in the air for
finding
my
out tonight about
homegirls.
his passing.
Yeah. I also want to put one in the air for my homegirl Sapphire, who passed this week too. He
Yeah.
says, and for her, pray for her daughter in this current time. But just want everybody out there, spread as much love as you can.
Yeah.
It's a renewable resource.
And I'll send it up to Lacey or Parker, and I'm sure he's up there playing a song down for us.
All right,
Doesn't
good
really
night,
cost you
y'all.
Anything, let's all be cool to each other and appreciate each other, and we appreciate you. And Rusty mentioned it, like that's the same reason that we all get together and do this is the reason why you all are here with us, and that does not go unappreciated. So thank you all so much for being here and supporting us.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll be back on Friday nights with more Gangstagrass team streams, and see us out there. Make sure you're following us on whatever platforms you like, and enjoying the music. Thank you all so much for tuning in.